A news hour tonight. Take It Back movement demands police protection in October 1 protest. In 11 states, FCT writes Inspector General. Notorious Boko Haram leader Boju Abacha surrenders to Nigerian troops. Parents reveal while boarding schools are losing students. And on the foreign scene, EU urges airlines to steer clear of Lebanese Israeli airspace as Hezbollah confirms Nasrallah's death. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's News Hour. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. The news. Pro-democracy group the Take It Back movement has formally written to the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoko, regarding the planned #Fearless in October protest slated for October 1. The protest, organized to start on Nigeria's Independence Day, aims to demand an end to bad governance and advocate for accountability from those in power. In the letter, their counsel and human rights lawyer, Inibehe Efyong, highlighted the protest intention to address the present socio-economic challenges facing Nigeria. He noted that the #Fearless in October protest serves as a call to action for citizens to voice their concerns and hold leaders accountable for the deteriorating state of the nation. Efyong reaffirmed the commitment of the Take It Back movement to peaceful advocacy while urging the police to ensure the safety and protection of all citizens participating in the demonstration. He said the protest is intended to serve as a call to action against the current socio-economic challenges in Nigeria. According to him, the states that will be taking part in the protest include Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Ondo, Delta, Gombe, Kwara, Adamawa, Rivers, Yobe, Borno, and the FCT. The Lagos Commissioner of Police, Olarewaju Ishola, has served or ordered the immediate and optimal deployment of human and operational resources across strategic locations in the state ahead of the End Bad Governance protest scheduled for Independence Day on October 1. In a statement on Saturday, the spokesperson for the command, SB Benjamin Hundeyin, said the commissioner has charged deployed officers to be professional, civil, and firm. Hundeyin said CP Shola has also met with the people elected to be organizers of the proposed October 1 protest. Hundeyin said the meeting with the protest organizers was part of proactive measures towards ensuring a safe and secure state before, during, and after the October 1 protest. According to the statement, at the meeting held at the state headquarters of the police in Ikeja, CP Shola assured the organizers that arrangements have been perfected with sister security agencies to provide maximum security to the protesters and other Lagosians during the protest. The police commissioner also urged the protesters to remain peaceful and law-abiding in all their actions. Earlier, organizers of the #End Bad Governance campaign have declared October 1, 2024 a national day of survival to protest the incessant economic hardship faced by Nigerians. Addressing newsmen in Lagos at the International Press Center, one of the organizers and national coordinator of the Education Rights Campaign, Hassan Soweto, urged Nigerians to participate in the nationwide peaceful protest. In Lagos, the protest is scheduled to commence at Ikeja Underbridge at 7:30 a.m. They stated that the protest would address the hike in fuel prices, rising food costs, and the impact of inflation on the livelihoods of ordinary Nigerians. Other civil organizations involved include the Movement for Fundamental Change, Youth Rights Campaign, Joint Action Front, and Pan-African Consciousness Renaissance.
We of the End Bad Governance movement have decided to declare October 1st, 2024 as a National Day of Survivor. On this day, we call on the Nigerian people, workers, students, youth, the unemployed, traders, and the poor to come out in peaceful protests and demonstrations against the excruciating condition of hardship, poverty, and hunger imposed on us by President Tinubu's decision.
I heard the Vice President at the United Nations Assembly saying, when democracy fails, the people will react, the people will complain, the people will protest. So if our Vice President can go to the United Nations to say that, why should protesters be hoodwinked into prison in Nigeria.
Ahead of Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary on Tuesday, residents of Anambra State have urged the President Bola Tinubu administration to take concrete steps toward addressing hunger in the country. They emphasized the need for government at all levels to intensify the fight against poverty in Nigeria through introduction of vibrant policies and programs that enhance job creation and youth inclusiveness. Trust TV's Jonathan Awayan has more in this report.
On Tuesday, the 1st of October 2024, Nigeria will celebrate its 64th independence anniversary. This year's celebration, if any, will be held amid the prevailing hunger caused by the removal of subsidy on petrol, which caused prices of goods and services to skyrocket beyond the reach of many Nigerians. With the hardship in the land, residents of Anambra State are calling on the government to prioritize improving the living condition of the people. They express deep concern over the country's growing economic hardship, stating that the situation is spiraling out of control.
Hardship in Nigeria today is everywhere. But I know too well that with the help of our God Almighty, things sooner or later things will be okay. I believe that. But I'm advising, if you are from national level, if they can help to adjust, because the principal problem we are facing now is this hiking price of fuel, fuel scarcity and hiking price, because it's the economy of fuel that controls almost the whole thing.
The elderly men, we should give space for the youth to be able to participate in governorship, whether in local government, in the state election and the federal election. That the youth will be happy, that our fathers will begin to listen to the youth as we are about to celebrate our independence being on Tuesday.
I believe that the government in the center should do what they are supposed to do, work for the people, so that the economy will improve. Things are difficult, all of us know. We're not joking about it. Things are so difficult, we know. But we're praying for the government.
Election, whereby masses will take their destiny in their own hand, and those entrusted with leadership will lead according to will lead with the fear of God. At the same time, implement good economic policies that will improve life for the people. Importation will not do Nigeria any good. Nigerian leaders need to patronize homemade goods. The idea of National Assembly, State Assembly, importing cars, using imported cars will not help the country.
They urged President Bola Tinubu to embrace and promote policies that will usher in an improved business environment for entrepreneurship to thrive while living conditions are enhanced. Jonathan Awanya, Trust TV News, Oka.
Now, the National Association of Government General and Medical Dental Practitioners has raised concerns over the current doctor-to-patient ratio in Kano State and threatened to embark on strike from October 1. The Secretary of the Association in Kano, Dr. Anas Idris Hassan, made this known while addressing newsmen on the outcome of their meeting. He stated that despite reaching an agreement with the Kano State government in June to meet their demands, the government is yet to respond, emphasizing that the government has not addressed the issue of their hazard allowance, specifically the post-COVID-19 hazard allowance, which has been paid by the federal government since 2021 but has yet to be paid by the Kano State government. Dr. Anas further mentioned that the newly employed medical doctors who were hired by the Kano State government in September of 2023 have not been paid their salaries. The medical practitioners also expressed concern over the dilapidated state of Kano hospitals and the lack of necessary equipment, stressing the urgent need to address these issues. The medical practitioners concluded that they have no option but to embark on the strike on October 1. Security matters. The Multinational Joint Task Force MNJTF says a notorious Boko Haram terrorist Buchu Abacha has surrendered to troops deployed in Kakuwa local government area of Borno State. The Chief Military Information officer of MNJTF N'Djamena, Lieutenant Colonel Olani Oshoba, revealed this in a statement in Maiduguri on Saturday. Oshoba said Abacha, a key figure in several terrorist operations, admitted to participating in multiple operations along the Mungunu-Baga axis. According to him, Abacha attributed his surrender to the intense operations of MNJTF and his dwindling interest in the cause. Oshoba further stated that on surrender, Abacha handed over one AK-47 rifle, a magazine loaded with 11 rounds of 7.2 mm ammunition, a mobile phone, an Airtel SIM card, and 32,500 naira. He pointed out that the suspect was currently providing valuable intelligence to the authorities. In a separate operation, MNJTF troops, in conjunction with intelligence operatives, ambushed Boko Haram terrorists conveying large logistics supplies in 3 Toyota vehicles under the cover of darkness. According to him, the troops engaged the terrorists in a fierce gun battle, killing one and forcing others to flee, abandoning their supplies. Now joining us to give us an update on the issue is Daily Trust Bureau Chief Hamisu Matazu. Matazu, good evening.
Good evening.
Now, what can you tell us about this bandit, Buchu Abacha, that surrendered?
He is among the second layers of the commandant that are terrorizing the entire Lake Chad area. And he was involved in so many operations, and the military succeeded in in the operations in the area, which prompted him, according to them, to surrender. If you recall very well, of recent, there are so many attacks perpetrated by the Boko Haram insurgents in some places. A story that we ran last 3 to 4 weeks, were about the resurgence of the Boko Haram insurgents. And with this flood issue around the Lake Chad area, the military, I think, took advantage of that to launch several attacks on them. That's so most of the insurgents coming out to surrender to the military, according to sources around the Lake Chad area. That's what I can say about it.
All right. Is it safe to say that the counter-insurgency operation is gaining momentum?
Yes, not only in the Lake Chad area. If you look very well, I think the military have stepped up operations even in the northwest, and northeast is not an exception. They have been trying their best, and I think they are degrading the Boko Haram militants around the Lake Chad area and other places within the Borno State.
All right, so Hamisu, just before you go, what's the reaction? How's the atmosphere in Borno State as this Buchu Abacha has surrendered himself?
Really, people don't talk about him himself, but the situation here, we are just coming out from a flood issue that have devastated many places. And even in the Lake Chad area, where the flood issue has been ravaging some communities around in the northern part of the Borno State. And much people talk about it, and they are commending the military specifically much on the rescue operation, not only within Maiduguri, but in those affected areas in the northern part of the state. And the issue of Boko Haram insurgents, actually, they are trying their best, and I believe people are appreciating them. But what echo most is the rescue operation within the Lake Chad area, where most of the communities there had been submerged by flood. I think last day before yesterday, even the governor was there, and he went around with the help of the military, and they assured him that they are on top of the situation in terms of degrading the Boko Haram insurgents, and at the same time giving a rescue operation to people around the Lake Chad area.
All right, thank you so much, Hamisu Matazu, Daily Trust Bureau Chief, for joining us tonight on the News Hour, giving us an update on the situation in Borno State. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Still on security matters, here in the FCT, the police command has debunked rumors of an alleged plan by terrorists to attack and abduct students from the University of Abuja campus. There has been tension in the campus following the rumors circulating on online platforms. But in his reaction, the FCT command, in a statement by spokesperson SP Josephine Ade, described the reports as nothing but baseless publications propagated by rumor mongers aiming to create unfounded panic and apprehension among FCT residents and the university community. The command reiterated its commitment to securing and safeguarding the lives and property of residents in the FCT, adding that adequate deployment of personnel and equipment have been implemented to enhance the security situation within the FCT, which includes the University of Abuja. In a renewed effort to enhance security in the Niger Delta region, troops from Sector 1 of the Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe Haven arrested 3 suspects in possession of a large cache of weapons. The suspects, identified as Abel Festus, Ramsey Akboribo, and Stephen Oma, were intercepted on Friday while traveling in Ohareki Community, Ethiopia West local government area of Delta State. According to a statement by the Assistant Director of Army Public Relations, Major Emmanuel Onoja, on Saturday, the troops recovered 5 pump-action rifles, a Dane gun, a battle axe, and 15 cartridges from the suspects during the operation. Onoja said the suspects are currently in custody and are undergoing thorough interrogation. He added that the Joint Task Force remains committed to ensuring peace and stability in the Niger Delta, urging residents to provide timely information that could aid security operations. The Borno State Flood Relief Distribution Committee has commenced the verification process for over 7,000 victims affected by recent flooding in Limanti Ward, located within the Maiduguri Metropolitan Council. The exercise is being conducted at Abubakar Garba El Kanemi Primary School. This marks the second verification effort following the earlier assessment in Gwanje 1, where Governor Babagana Zulum launched the distribution exercise. As part of the process, the names of those impacted have been publicly displayed at the district head's palace for verification and feedback. Similarly, a complaint desk has also been established on site to address any concerns or omissions raised by the affected households. Chairman Flood Relief Distribution Committee Baba Burkar Gujibau has reaffirmed the committee's commitment to conduct a fair and transparent verification process for flood victims. The Shehu of Dikwa has urged the federal government to establish dams in Dikwa and Mafa local government to mitigate future flood disaster in the state. The recent flood disaster caught 4 local government areas in the state. He said 9 wards in Dikwa were affected, with farmlands, infrastructures, hospitals and houses destroyed, disrupting commercial activities connecting this state with neighboring countries. The Shehu of Dikwa, Umar Ibrahim, while appreciating the federal government and state government, including stakeholders, for humanitarian support, appealed for the construction of dams in Mafa and Dikwa to contribute to irrigation, fishing and agricultural activities.
The disaster has cut our road, that is from Ajiri to Dikwa. And in this regard, I am urging the federal government to at least construct a art dam for us between Mafa local government and Dikwa. I think by doing that, it will going to mitigate the gravity and volume of the water. And by getting the art dam, our people will going to use for their irrigational activities, that is dry season farming, and also the water will be good for both human and animal consumption.
The Borno State Command of the National Agency for the Prohibition on Persons, NAPTIP, has rescued 16 victims of child labor and handed them over to the Katsina Command for onward unification with their families. According to the command, the victims are children ranging from 10 to 15 years of age who were taken to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, for forced labor. Abdullah Yamadi has more in this report.
In Katsina, the victims were handed over to the special advisor to the governor on drugs and narcotics by the officials of NAPTIP for rehabilitation and onward handing over to their families. The victims were looking so tired, traumatized, and weak. According to the NAPTIP commander in Katsina, trafficking in persons and child labor are criminal acts which are punishable under the laws of the land, calling on parents to desist from allowing their children to be taken away under any guise. He warned parents against any form of neglect or abandoning their responsibility to their children, a situation he described as pathetic due to poverty, adding that it is getting so rampant, especially among poor and vulnerable households. The commander urged the state government to deploy more strategies aimed at discouraging the menace of child labor and trafficking in persons, especially now that it is becoming a trans-border business.
We are here purposely to hand over the victims of human trafficking, which are all of them, they are indigenous of the Katsina state, which will be rescued by our the counterpart in Maiduguri. All of them, their age, they are from 10 to 15, I think, so years.
This is a great achievement, and we know it is the effort of the commander here in the state that this achievement we are always getting it. That is why we invited their parents so that we will sit down with them to see how we can fix the children.
Governor Radda, through the special advisor on drugs and narcotics, appreciates the good works of NAPTIP officials, assuring that the children will be reunited with their families as soon as possible, warning that the state government will take punitive measures against the perpetrators. According to him, despite numerous efforts and sensitizations on the ugly trend, some parents still choose to go against the law by allowing some unpatriotic people under the guise of search for Islamic knowledge to take their children away to as far as Maiduguri. The special advisor charged parents to enroll their children into Islamia schools within their local communities instead of sending them to a far distance, a situation sending negative signals and tarnishing the image of the society. However, public commentators are of the opinion that the best way to discourage the trend is by reducing poverty, removal of economic barriers on formal education and health, as well as ensuring an accelerated increase in households' income. Abdullahi Izumayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Boarding schools have been a cornerstone of education for decades, where parents enroll their children to acquire quality education. However, in recent times, the popularity of boarding schools is waning as parents increasingly opt for day schools due to various factors. Despite this trend, many still view boarding schools as institutions that shape students' characters, molding them into better individuals for the future. Trust's Bello Musa has more in this report.
Despite the quality of education being provided by the boarding school, its popularity is declining. However, many see boarding school as the best system of education that will help the country to produce good students.
The advantage of boarding school over day school is very enormous. As a beneficiary, who went to a boarding school both here in Kaduna and Kogi State, and also participated in the so-called day school, I think I'm in the best place to pass a judgment. In boarding schools, teenage, that is from 13 years old to 19, they built up with their peers groups, and they were able to get a mindset of their own. They developed into a kind of a society. The society we have yesteryears, good, discipline, moral, are all product of boarding schools.
Now, you can see nowadays, if you are a day student, you don't have time for anything. The moment you come from school, you see them, they throw their bags on anywhere and they go away. But in boarding school, everything is scheduled accordingly.
Besides stiff competition by the private school, educationist highlights other factors that has made day school more popular nowadays.
If we have to look at it from the insecurity aspect, especially from the northern part of the country, a lot of parents have been discouraged looking at it from the insecurity angle, where they are no longer comfortable having their wards or their children in boarding school. You know, taking Kaduna State as a case study, a lot of things has happened. A lot of things have happened in the past where you discover that bandits will go to boarding school maybe at the middle of the night to go and kidnap number of students.
I believe that most of the problems that we have in society today are traced back that these mistakes that the government makes by allowing the boarding school to phase out to day schools. In other countries, boarding school is, there is no alternative to boarding school. But today, the day schools, where children will even tell their parents, I'm going to school, they are somewhere with their groups, they are somewhere with their, if the ladies are somewhere with their boyfriends, the men are somewhere learning Yahoo. Of recent, I saw young men who are supposed to be in the school, they say they are in Yahoo training school.
The residents are appealing to government to improve the two-school system in order to accelerate more development in the education sector in the country. Bella Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
We also launch a news hour on Trust Television. Up ahead, experts advocate push for UNESCO recognition for Shumbo Eredo Monument. More when we return. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. A recap of our top stories. We told you that Take It Back movement demands police protection in October 1 protest in 11 states. FCT writes Inspector General. We also informed you that notorious Boko Haram leader Buchu Abacha surrenders to Nigerian troops. More stories. President Bola Tinubu has charged graduating cadets of the Nigerian Defense Academy to be ready to face the challenges confronting the nation with bravery and courage. President Tinubu gave the charge at the NDA Afaka on Saturday while serving as the reviewing officer at the personnel parade and presidential commissioning of 71 regular corps and direct short service corps 28 Army and 32 Air Force. Represented by the Speaker House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas, the President congratulated the 823 cadets for successfully completing their 5 years of military training and wished the cadets a successful career in the armed forces as they begin their military career.
Over the years, it has continued to maintain its esteemed status in nation building and training of excellent officers for the armed forces, as well as delivering on one of its mandates to provide outstanding postgraduate education. For these and many other reasons, we are ever proud of this highly esteemed institution. I therefore emphasize strongly that the NDA team, under any guise, must never undermine the training of candidates for effective military purposes. This is because training in its essence prepares the soldier's heart, mind and body for military professionalism. Our soldiers and officers must never be exposed to the scam and ridicule of criminal elements because of fear or weak fighting power and spirits.
President Bola Tinubu has forwarded the names of members of the inaugural governing board of the Northwest Development Commission (NWC) to the Senate for confirmation. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, on Saturday, the step follows President Tinubu's signing of the NWC bill into law on July 24, marking a crucial milestone in the Commission's establishment. The NWC governing board nominees are Ambassador Haruna Ginso from Jigawa as chairman, while Professor Abdullahi Shehu Ma'aji from Kano is to serve as MD and CEO. Other members of the board include Dr. Yahaya Umar Namahe Sokoto, Aminu Suleiman Kebi, Senator Tijani Yahaya Kaura Zamfara, Abdul Qadir S. Usman Kaduna, Engineer Muhammad Ali Wudil Kano, Shamsu Sule Kathina, and Nasidi Ali Jigawa. The nominated board members are expected to contribute their wealth of experience and expertise to the Commission's mandate of developing the Northwest region. The sixth prosecution witness in the trial of former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswam Abubakar Umar, has narrated before the Federal High Court Maitama Abuja, presided over by Justice Peter Lifu, how in 2014 he converted the sum of 3.1 billion naira wired to him by Suswam as governor and delivered its equivalent of $15.8 million in cash to him at his Maitama residence. The head media and publicity of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Dele Oyewale, disclosed this on Saturday. Suswam, alongside his then Commissioner of Finance, Omadachi Okolobia, is facing an 11-count amended charge bordering on money laundering to the tune of 3.1 billion naira, being part of the proceeds from the sales of the state government shares held on its behalf at the Benue Investment and Property Company Limited, and so through Elixir Securities Limited and Elixir Investment Partners Limited. During the court proceedings, the witness, a bureau de change operator and CEO of Fanfash Resources, who has been testifying on the matter since 2018, first before Justice A.R. Mohammed and later Justice Okon Abang, disclosed that the total sum of 3.1 billion naira was transferred to him by Suswam through a proxy in tranches, with the first tranche of 413 million naira hitting his account on August 8, 2014, and the remaining coming in subsequently to sum up to 3.1 billion naira. Umar, while being led in evidence by prosecution counsel Rotimi Jacobs SAN, affirmed that the proxy who did the naira transfers to him was a woman. According to the witness, he had to change the total sum of 3.1 billion naira to dollars, which he said amounted to $15.8 million at the rate of 197 naira to a dollar, and delivered it to Suswam in his Maitama Abuja residence. Justice Lefo adjourned the matter till October 4, 2024 for continuation of trial. It was a mixed pot of emotions in Anambra this Saturday as the state conducted local government elections for the first time in 11 years. Eager residents who had stormed polling units as early as 8 a.m. were, however, disappointed as officials of the State Independent Electoral Commission and SIEC didn't arrive polling units in some parts of the state until noon. Trustee Jonathan Awayan, who visited Anocha, Njikoka, Oka South, Oka North local government areas, reports that while the election could be described as peaceful in some parts of the state, other stakeholders complained about late arrival and insufficiency of electoral materials. Here's his report.
This is the first time that local government elections will be held after 11 years. The last election was held in 2013 under the administration of former Governor Peter Obi. The voting exercise commenced in some parts metropolis around 12 noon instead of 8 o'clock as earlier announced. Some stakeholders condemned the late arrival of the Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission and SIEC officials, as well as insufficient electoral materials.
Irregularities is many. In short, there is no vote. You can see there is no voting going on. There is no resource sheet, nothing. So how can people be voting? This is what is happening all around the bag and Aba, Nimo, Mafia. That's the report we are getting. No result sheet. So how can people be voting when there is no result sheet? They will now write the result in a piece of paper, exercise way. Is that how to conduct the election?
The materials are here, but some of them are not up to. They said it's 100 pieces or thereabout, but they have insulted the chairman of my ward. Let them make sure that the materials are complete. If they say it's 100, let them record it.
Other stakeholders hailed the Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission, ASIEC, for the successful conduct of Saturday's local government elections in the state.
As you can see that we are having slow progress here. This is the local government and SEC office. As you can see, the materials has been distributed across the 19 wards in the local government to tell you that there is efficiency of good conduct going on and across the ward. And you can see that we have security personnel around the whole 19 wards. We have personnel that are working. We have everything that it requires for this election. And for what we are seeing on ground, there is a free and fair.
This time around, the local government election, the local government is going to be autonomous. And I know that people must feel the impact of this autonomy.
The election provided an opportunity for some people to reflect on the autonomy recently granted local governments by the nation's top courts. They noticed that local government autonomy is crucial for Nigeria's progress, as it will bring development closer to those in rural communities.
Practical processes. That is what we are expecting. To do election, people to choose their choice. And that's where we are. We are in the process. It means a lot.
Give us more confidence that they get their resource, direct resource from the governor, from the government, from the federal government, which prove that we are growing now. That the chairman will have power to execute works, to execute any project that he wants to.
The election held in all the 21 local government areas of the state. Jonathan Awanya, Trust TV News, Oka.
Over in the southwest, archaeologists are calling on the federal government to transform the historic Shumbo Eredo site, which spans from Lagos State Eredo to Ijebu in Ogun State, into a premier tourist destination aiming for UNESCO World Heritage recognition. During a recent two-day workshop, experts presented groundbreaking discoveries using advanced LiDAR technology to map the site. This cutting-edge approach has revealed the monument's immense historical value and untapped tourism potential. Here's the report.
Sungbo Eredu, arguably the world's largest earth enclosure, is an immense ditch and bank earthwork located in Ekpe, encompassing a circumference of 170 kilometers that defines the core of the Yoruba Ijebu kingdom. This remarkable structure spans Lagos and Ogun State, surrounding the city of Ijebu-Ode in southwestern Nigeria. This gathering of researchers is a collaborative project between the United States Mission, Nigerian institutions, and other development partners who are seeking to unveil their findings from the first ever archaeological laser light survey on the monument. When Bilkisu arrived, she took shelter under the ancient tree, estimated to be over 5,000 years old. Bilkisu, a powerful woman, allegedly dug the tunnel with her giants. These giants reportedly extended the tunnel all the way to Ijebu-Ode.
Would be overjoyed if it eventually made it to UNESCO. It would put it on par with the pyramids, in Egypt, with the Great Wall of China, things of that nature. So it's a real treasure and something that should be preserved.
First thing that could come to anybody's mind is that this is built to create an enclosure for security, maybe for certain controls of movement of maybe man and animal. These are hypotheses that we can put forward, but obviously we know that this was built for a purpose in the medieval period.
The event is also a significant milestone in the conservation and promotion efforts of this historic monument, the longest single pre-industrial territorial earthwork known in Africa and beyond, and encompassing approximately 1,000 square kilometers. Experts here say the data collected would be used to generate public interest in the conservation and preservation of the monument.
There are problems of conservation. There are problems with timber being cut, all right, and left in there, making it very difficult for people to come and visit. This is supposed to be one of the main points where Nigerians and other tourists come and see the Eredo. That's one of the few places where you can see it.
Unfortunately, in this part of the world, we don't know, we don't cherish what we have. We don't appreciate what we have. This Eredo is a potential money spending thing for Lagos and Ogun State government in tourism, but it's been abandoned. It's been depleted. You know, when we got to that place yesterday, I was sad.
Participants at this two-day workshop are also of the opinion that government must not let the efforts of the findings from the first ever archaeological light survey and laser light data go in vain. They call for sustained efforts at ensuring the preservation of the monument and its recognition by the United Nations Educational, Cultural and Scientific Organization, UNESCO.
Work will go a long way in enriching research activities as well as provide needed information for policymakers.
It's a project that has been something that's agitating our minds. Even the state government has not been able to finance it. So if the American government is now showing interest, that's a big one.
Ekpe will be, we grow, tremendously, and income will come into Ekpe. And I think Ekpe should take that challenge.
Experts here hope that government can act with urgency to prevent encroachment of the site, which is gradually becoming a dump site, as well as halt its deforestation.
As the cost of living crisis continues to bite hard on Nigerians, many are now resorting to less expensive telecommunications gadgets in order not to deplete their savings. With about 63 million gadgets sold annually due to the increase in the number of telecom subscribers in the country, checks reveal that recently most of those sold are fairly used ones, as the price of brand new ones are no more pocket-friendly. Here's the report.
As of January 2024, over 218 million mobile subscriptions were on the country's network, according to reports. However, the recent economic downturn is negatively impacting the demands for telecom devices, as prices of some essential commodities have gone up by over 200% since last year, leaving many Nigerians lamenting the development.
Nobody is now concentrating on phones and accessories. So we're actually suffering in this line of business because everything has gone slow. In a day, what we sell is not compared to what we sell before. Before, people are trooping into the shop to buy things, but now it has gone drastically down. And even going to buy the things that we come to sell, we find out that everything has increased.
The bad economic situation in Nigeria, the people don't have money for feeding, so how do you expect them to go buy hard gadgets, expensive phones? So it's not possible.
Really, poor people don't get anything for feeding. To feed is difficult for us. They cannot eat at least one square meal in a day. What if you have a family whereby you have about 3 children, 5 children, 6 children, you cannot even feed yourself.
Factors that have impacted on the high price of devices include lingering forex scarcity, continuous depreciation of the naira, as well as import duty. Phone repairs and vendors of fairly used phones have been reacting to the situation. The prices of things have gone up, so much so that fairly used phones that we once bought at a cheaper rate to manage and make a little profit have now increased. As a result, both the sellers and those of us that usually buy from them have to think deeply.
All the things that we use, the spare parts, has increased, has doubled their price. in such a way that only little people can afford to buy them. And if they afford to buy them, they cannot pay for the repairs work. So it affects us so much that we have to reduce our working price so that the people can pay for the goods that they buy, the part that they buy.
Prices of telephone gadgets have skyrocketed, making Nigeria to settle for fairly used devices as far as mobile phones communication is concerned. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Still to come, business, foreign and sports. To stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's get to business. Nigeria's money supply M2 surged to a new high of 107.1 trillion naira in August of 2024, marking a 0.75% month-on-month increase from 106.3 trillion naira in July and 5.6% rise from 101.4 trillion naira in June, according to the latest figures from the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN). This sharp rise in liquidity continues to pose challenges for the CBN's Monetary Policy Committee as it grapples with balancing economic growth and controlling inflation. The money supply has now risen by a whopping 65% in the last year from 64.8 trillion naira recorded in August of 2023. The components of M2, which include currency, outside banks, demand deposits, and quasi-money, are indicative of the growing liquidity in the Nigerian economy. Currency outside banks stood at 3.8 trillion naira, while demand deposits reached 31 trillion naira and quasi-money surged to 72.2 trillion naira, reflecting the persistent expansion of money supply despite monetary tightening. A major drive of the money supply growth is the rise in quasi-money and demand deposits, which have also risen by 77% and 43% respectively. Both have components of forex, which have been impacted by foreign exchange devaluation. The money supply is reported in naira. A total turnover of 3.318 billion shares worth 45.911 billion naira and 49,243 deals was traded this week by investors on the floor of the exchange. The financial services industry led the activity chart, with the oil and gas industry following in second place, while the healthcare industry came third. The NGX All-Share Index and market capitalization appreciated by 0.21% to close the week at 98,458.68 basis points and 56.578 trillion naira respectively. 45 equities appreciated in price during the week, with 33 equities depreciating in price, while 73 equities remained unchanged. Still in business, the founder of Binance and a key figure in the global cryptocurrency industry, Changpeng Zhou, has been released from prison. He was released from a California correctional facility after serving a 4-month sentence for failing to enforce anti-money laundering protocols on his exchange. The 47-year-old, widely known as CZ, returned to the U.S. from Dubai earlier this year to face charges and serve time linked to regulatory breaches at Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange by trading volume. His release came 2 days ahead of schedule due to standard practices when release dates fall on weekends. Zhao, known for turning Binance into the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange since its launch in Shanghai in 2017, was held at a low-security facility in Long Beach, California. He reported to the facility in June after agreeing to a $50 million personal fine as part of a broader settlement with U.S. authorities. Binance, in a separate deal, paid $4.3 billion in penalties to resolve allegations tied to breaches of anti-money laundering and sanctions regulations. On the foreign scene, South African police on Saturday said they were launching a manhunt after 17 people were shot dead in a town in the east of the country. In a statement, the police said 13 people, made up of 12 women and 1 man, were killed in one house, while 4 other people were killed in another house, adding that an 18th victim is in critical condition in a hospital. South African media said the mass shootings occurred Friday night in the town of Lusikisiki in the Eastern Cape Province, about 200 kilometers southwest of Durban. In mid-September, 7 members of a family, including 3 children, were shot dead at their home in KwaZulu-Natal, also in the east of the country. The killers in that incident have not been caught. Airlines should avoid Lebanese and Israeli airspace for the coming month, the European Union said Saturday, amid an escalation in airstrikes and rocket fire between Israel and Hezbollah. The European Commission and European Union Aviation Safety Agency warned in a statement of an overall intensification of airstrikes and degradation in the security situation. The official recommendation operators not to operate within the airspaces of Lebanon and Israel at all flight levels. Provisionally, lasting until October 31, the Conflict Zone Information Bulletin can be reviewed earlier and adapted or withdrawn, the statement added. Israeli bombardment of the southern outskirts of Beirut on Friday hit its highest intensity since the state's last war with Hezbollah in 2006. In the meantime, Lebanon's Iran-backed Hezbollah group on Saturday confirmed its leader Hassan Nasrallah has been killed after Israel said it had eliminated him in an airstrike a day earlier. The statement confirmed he was killed with other group members following the treacherous Zionist strike on the southern suburbs of Beirut. On the sports scene, a total of 30 women coaches will begin the first ever 3-module CAF C-license coaching course in the month of July, were presented with their certificates at a colorful closing ceremony in Abuja on Saturday. Organized by the Nigerian Football Federation, the epochal coaching course saw more than a dozen former stars of the Super Falcons involved in the intensive classroom and on-field sessions that saw the coaches proceed on internship with clubs after each of the first modules, with the third module ending with examinations at the NFF FIFA Goal Project MK Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Speaking at the closing ceremony, President of NFF, Ibrahim Guzo, charged all participants not to rest on their oars but be more proactive in their quest to effectively utilize and impact their knowledge in the immediate society. He noted that his dream is to see women coaches pulling their weight with even men's teams across the land, with accomplishments to underscore the fact that those appointments were well deserved. Earlier, the NFF General Secretary Mohammed Sanusi has tasked all graduates to productively apply the knowledge they have gained while taking part in the exercise, demanding that they should continue to remain good ambassadors of themselves and the country at large. Before we go, Trust TV reporter Chibade Praise has been laid to rest at the Yaba Cemetery in Lagos State. He passed away in his sleep on the 6th of September at the age of 40. Ajibade was known for his dedication and professionalism in journalism, leaving behind a legacy of impactful reporting.
Most motivated, don't go and win.
May his soul rest in peace and God comfort his family at this time. With that, we come to the end of the news hour for tonight. For more news, programs and documentaries, do well to follow us on our social media platform and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us. Good night.